What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Celtics Daily Channel with me, Mike Zakarian. We're now 3 preseason games into the season. We're getting oh so close. We're just like less than 9 days before we get actual NBA action. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to cook. Give me the hoops, baby. Give me the hoops. We're gonna go over this weekend's preseason stuff. We'll talk a little bit about this big rotation, which is getting spicy. We'll mention some Chris Boucher stuff. We'll talk some Tatum. And then, always, we'll get into your comments here at the end, which is a reminder to get involved in the chat, baby. Get involved. Hit the subscribe, like the video, do all the things. Just a reminder, too, listen, once we get to 3K subs, which we're creeping up on 2,200, once we get to 3K, we're going to be giving away a pair of NBA Celtics tickets, not just NBA tickets. I'm not going to send you to Sacramento. They're going to be Boston Celtics tickets. But let's get into the weekend, shall we? Man, good to see Pritchard and Simons again, huh? We had fast PP. I know you guys don't like when I say it. We had a little fast PP. We had Anthony Simons out there. They played 2 games this week, and let's start with the first one. I mean, the most recent one. We'll start with the Celtics and the Cleveland Cavaliers. This got out of control pretty early, and you can't overthink any of the stuff that's happening right now because this was the starting 5 for the Cavs yesterday. We had Larry Nance Jr., Dean Wade, Jalen Tyson, Craig Porter Jr., and Tyrese Proctor. So obviously no Mobley, no Hunter, no Allen, Garland, Mitchell, Merrill, Ball. They didn't really play anybody, so keep that in mind. But what I will say, what is kind of exciting about what we're seeing from this Boston team right now is a couple of things. The speed in which they're playing. The first game that we saw this preseason, they were a little bit slower. They weren't as advertised as speed out the gate, right? And in the last 2 games, they picked it up a little bit. Let me just give you the point totals here, right? So they finished they won 138-107. Ready for this? 33 points in the first quarter. They held Cleveland to 17. 37 points in the second quarter. 32 points in the third, and 36 in the fourth. This was the starting 5 for the Celtics. It was Boucher, Sam Hauser, Derek White, Pritchard, and JB with Simons coming off the bench. Now, let's do positive stuff first before I get a little nitpicky and raise a red flag for something that I'm a little concerned about. The 3-point shots were fun, all right? You had Boucher go 2 for 3. You had Hauser go 2 for 4. Derek White 2 for 7. The 3 ball's still not really falling for Derek White, but I'm not really concerned about that. Peyton Pritchard 2 for 5. JB 0 for 1. You had Anthony Simons off the bench go 6 for 9. Went 6 for 12 from the field. All of his makes were from 3 in 25 minutes. He was a plus 15 out there, finished with 21. I got to tell you, man, Simons has been electric on the offensive end. Seems to really find is finding the flow here in this Missoula offense. Defensively, I saw a report. I think it was from John Corrales, who was just kind of well, for the second straight game, he's fouling a lot, which means he's trying. I don't know if that's the case. I don't know if we could just say because he fouled a lot, he's trying. But I do think that is a good sign that he is out there hustling quite a bit. And, he's putting the effort in. We'll have to wait and see if that actually turns into good defense. But the Simons Pritchard stuff is pretty fun. Again, Pritchard played 23 in this, 25 for Simons. Shireman, man, still not finding the shot, 1 for 5. But let's get another bright spot. And listen, I got to give the chat some credit. Normally I'm like, come on, the chat, I'm not giving you guys but I'll give you some credit here because we got Josh Minot, and everybody was like, first of all, I couldn't pronounce his last name correctly. I was calling him Minot. I was making him from France, and then the chat told me it's why not Minot, and that's why we've been calling him like that, calling him that the rest of the way so I could pronounce it correctly. And everybody was trying to hump. Everybody was trying to hype Minot up. And what I did was I went to Basketball Reference, and I went and told you how many minutes a game this guy had been playing. Well, I am now a believer, close to getting a Minot tattoo based on what I've been seeing this preseason. I think I made the nose candy comment earlier, after the first game, where he just subs in, and it's just this burst of life. It's a change of pace on both ends of the court, and we know that Missoula is going, as I'm thinking about the reserves who get minutes into the season, the thing that Missoula loves the most is just that level of intensity. First of all, doing the right thing, which we'll talk about in a second, but that level of intensity on the defensive end. And man, he's just been bringing it. So he played 23 minutes in this game. Went 5 for 9 from the field, got to the free throw line 5 times, knocking down 4. Also knocked down 2 of his 5 3-pointers, right? So finished the game with 16 points, 6 assists. He had a steal, not a block. He had 16 points, 16 boards, and assist, and a steal. He was a +6 out there. I think Minot's playing himself into some rotational minutes. And I think if you had asked me, a couple weeks ago, which you probably did, and I probably answered it, but my bench would have included whoever the big rotation's going to be, which we'll talk about here in a second, whatever that's going to be, some version of like Simons and Hauser, maybe one of them starting, maybe not. And then I expected to see, I expected like Baylor Shireman and Hugo Gonzalez to get a little bit of run and maybe some Jordan Walsh. Now, Walsh didn't play this most recent preseason game because of that left adductor issue he got in that first game. Hugo Gonzalez, we should mention too, played 15 minutes. He had 4 points and 2 boards. Didn't do too much to like write home about. But I really do think like Minot, for me anyways, has kind of leapt Baylor Shireman in the rotation. Now Shireman maybe has a little bit more offensive upside, but I tell you what, we haven't really seen it so far. If the shot's not falling, I don't know if those minutes are going to go to him. So let's focus on the positive, though, with Josh Minot. I'm into it. I love what we're seeing from him so far. I want to see more of it. I don't know what the schedule is. We can look at that a little bit later for the upcoming games. But I do think there is like a real opportunity here for him to play himself into some real minutes. Let's go to Friday's game, shall we? Let's talk a little Friday. Friday, the Celtics played the Raptors. They lost this one 107-105. And this is, it was kind of nice. Sometimes you need like some home cooking. If you're gone for a while, you haven't seen your friends or loved ones, you need something to remind you of home, right? Celtics did that for us. They blew a lead, and that reminded us of like the good old days where the Celtics are up 20 and then just get spanked in the fourth quarter, something like an 18-2 run or whatever. Toronto comes back and wins. Listen, I'm not freaking out about this, okay? I'm not freaking out because it's the preseason, so who cares? But it did make me laugh. Keita got the start in this one. So this was the 5. They put Josh Minot in the starting 5. Mr. Boucher, Nehemiah Keita, Peyton Pritchard, and Anthony Simons. That was the starting 5. So Pritchard and Simons together. They combined for 37 points. Pritchard goes 3 for 8 from 3. He had 19 points, 4 boards, and 3 dimes. Simons, 2 for 7 from 3, 18 points. He had three assists and 2 boards as well. Boucher, though, was the story. 7 for 10 from the field, 2 for 5 from 3. He had 19 and 9. Minot, again, in his 26 minutes, 6 for 10 from the field, 1 for 3 from 3. He had 13 and 6. Just really, really good stuff from that core. And then I think to note, like Baylor Shireman played 25 minutes in this one, 4 points, 0 for 3 from 3, but he did have like 6 boards and 6 dimes. That's good to see some of the playmaking off the bench. Luka Garza filled it up again with 12 and 6. That's kind of it. That's all to really write home about. But one of the things I did want to point out, we saw this from Mazzulla yesterday. Also, Mazzulla seemed cranky AF. I don't know if you saw any of the clips. Somebody had asked him, I want to say it was somebody from Celtics CLNS Media. I don't want to name names because I'm not entirely sure. Asked a question about like the volume of 3-point shots. Mazzulla like basically scolded him. He's like, this is like the 100th time I've answered this question in my 3 years here. No one's listening to me. Hell yeah, Joe. Go get him, Joe. But one of the real concerns that we saw, I wouldn't say concerns, the attitudes that we've seen from Mazzulla so far is if you miss a defensive rebounding assignment, you're coming out the game. We saw it happen. Jay King reported on this on The Athletic, but the game against the Cavs, Jaylen Brown missed an opportunity for a defensive rebound. Larry Nance grabbed it in front of him, put it back up, and then got an and one. Mazzulla kind of like, not yelled at him, but yelled an expletive from the bench. Then he doesn't get pulled, but then they go to halftime, they come back out. Jaylen Brown does a similar thing where he doesn't get a defensive board, immediately pulled out of the game. Luka Garza last night, after a really tough closeout 3, does not get back to box out. Dean Wade gets his own rebound, and then they put it back in. I think Luka immediately pulled from the game. So it seems like defensive rebounding is going to be the thing that they are going to focus on the most, both like in practice and training camp, but also in gameplay. And I mean, it makes sense because right now they're ranked like so far this season, I think like last or second to last in defensive rebounding rate. And I mean, listen, this was going to be a problem from the beginning. We knew this based on the big rotation. You got rid of like all of your top rebounders, Tatum, Horford, Porzingis, even Drew Drew Holiday. Like, I imagine that's like 4 of the top 5 rebound. And Luke Cornett, probably 5 of the top 6 rebounders on our team are no longer playing this season. So we knew this was going to be an issue. And that brings us to the big man rotation. And I think like the positives, we've seen Chris Boucher play well so far. On the offensive end, he's been okay. On the defensive end, we've seen him start at the 4. I believe he started all 3 games so far. Started at the 4 in the second game against the Toronto Raptors, and then he started at the 5 in the most recent game against the Cavaliers. And the reason I bring this up is I have a little bit of concern for our Portuguese prince, Nimi Keita. We spent the whole offseason, not the whole offseason, we spent the Eurobasket part of the offseason being like, we might have found our NBA starting center. No need to worry, no need to trade, no need to think about next NBA offseason. We found our guy. Now, Keita hasn't really been talking to the media the last week or so. We haven't really heard much from him, and we've seen the level of play dwindle quite a bit here. We saw in that Toronto game 17 minutes, right? And I think most of that came in the first half. Didn't really get a lot of run in the second. He had, and again, only attempted 3 shots, going 2 for 3, right? 4 for 5 in that game. 4 points and 5 boards in that game. Let me go back to the Cavaliers box score just to run you through those minutes one more time. Because, again, he came off the bench, and I believe, if I'm not mistaken, he was the 3rd big to come off the bench. I don't know. He played 7 minutes, only 7. Now, again, I don't want to go nuts here and be like, this is, we're screwed or anything like that. It is something I'm monitoring, though, because we were talking about how this is, again, 3-headed monster is probably too strong for the Luka Garza, Xavier Tillman, Keita minutes, but it might be more of center by committee. It did seem like it was Keita's job to win/lose, that he would be the starting 5, and then Luka and Tillman. I kind of expected, 24 minutes from Keita, and then I can't do the math, but some version of 16 and 16 from Tillman and Garza, and then maybe some Boucher over there, or do some weird stuff, right? But now, there could be a real possibility where it is big man by committee. Maybe they start somebody like Keita, who only plays 12 minutes a game, he's a starter in theory, or Tillman, and then you have they do run some small ball 5 with Boucher at the 5. I don't know. It depends how quick and how much spacing the Celtics want here. We know they like to shoot the 3 ball. They like to create those 2-on-1, those 2v1s. But I'm a little bit nervous. I was hopeful that we were going to see Keita really step into his own right out the gate. I thought he was going to kind of have that Eurobasket experience, snowball, and then he would be ready to go. But I'm a little bit concerned there with the big man rotation. I'm not concerned with the pace of play here from this team in general. The variance, we've talked about this ad nauseum now, but the variance of this team, you tell me they finish a 4 seed or a 10 seed, I believe both of them. But I think the guard play is going to be elite. I'm very excited about Pritchard. I'm very excited about Simons. I think they're going to work well together and separate. It's nice knowing we're pretty much going to have one of them on the court at all times. Derek White is already doing Derek White shit, blocking shots, getting steals. And then Jaylen Brown looks electric. He looks powerful right now, athletic. And I'm just excited for what that's going to bring. It's just, can we piecemeal this big position together? I don't know. But I do think defensive rebounding is something we're going to be hearing more and more about. But on the offensive side, it's a lot of fun, man. Listen, the Celtics 2-1 to start the preseason. Powerful wins over Memphis and Cleveland. Again, it's hard to read too much into it because of who's actually playing. Even our starters who are playing aren't playing major minutes. So, we'll get a better feel, this time. Well, not this time in 2 weeks, we'll have a better feel. But that's kind of the recap of what we got this weekend. I got to tell you, vibes are still high over here. I'm excited. Even though it's nor'easter season here in the Northeast, vibes are still good. I'm ready for basketball. I like what we're seeing from this team. I think they're going to be a fun team to root for. I also saw Mark Wahlberg was filming a movie in Boston at the Garden this weekend. I got to tell you guys, I think I'm done. I think I'm done with the Wahlberg experience. I think I am. I don't know. I think I need a new Son of Boston, I think I do. I don't know. Let this marinate for a little bit. I want you, the chat, to marinate on it too. Let's come back tomorrow. Let's have some Wahlberg. Let's have a Wahlberg conversation. I wanted to just shout out Boucher here. I'm not gonna break it down for you, but Boucher has an incredible story. I'll actually put the link in the after the video goes live. I'll put a link in the chat or in the comments if you guys want to read it. But he shared a Players Tribune story, which Players Tribune is exactly what you think it is. It's like players using their words, their platform to share stuff. The most notable ones I can remember are like DeMar DeRozan, John Wall, Kevin Love have all shared like pretty powerful stories over there. But Boucher shared his on I think it was Mental Health Awareness Day, and Boucher shared his story and how he got to where he is today. And it's just really like I think everybody was already going to be rooting for this guy because he's a lot of fun when he comes in. He makes like highlight plays where in the sense that he like shoots threes, does block shots. He just comes in and impacts the game. But I think this is going to make him. I just think there's a real rooting. There's a heart to it. There's something you're rooting for there. So I hope you get a chance to read it again. I will share the link. Shout out Boucher though. I'm all in on the Boucher experience. But yeah, really good piece. I don't want to break. I'm not going to do it justice if I explain it. It's like a 5-minute read, so I recommend reading it. Let's talk a little bit of Tatum here, though. Let's JT. More videos of him dunking. More reporting that he's going to play. Here we go. I'll give you some sources. You want some sources say over here? I'll give you some sources say of what they're thinking about here. Yeah. Basically, Tatum is out there telling his people he's playing. He's going to be playing basketball. Do we like? Again, I just would love, this is what I would like. I would like the truth serum for the entire Boston Celtics front office. I want to know how they feel. Like, where's their head at? Are they like, hey, JT, can you stop for a second? Just stop for a second. If it happens, it happens. Don't set us up like this. But again, we saw another video of him just like throwing him down casually. One thing John Corrales pointed out was that Tatum is definitely being cautious in how he lands when he's dunking. He's obviously not ready. Like, I know we're seeing more videos and it's exciting because we're at the beginning of the season. They're talking about him coming back. He's not coming back until like, if he does come back, it's not until like late February, early March, right? Which would still be insane. It would still be insane. But again, just more Tatum propaganda that I'm here for. All right, let's wrap stuff up. How are you guys feeling about the preseason? Let me know in the chat. Let's get to some of your chitty chat from the most recent video we dropped. I want to hear from you guys. A reminder too, just hit that subscribe. Oh, also one other thing I want to plug, since we are just over a week away, Tuesday, October 21st, a week from tomorrow, on my channel that you see me in the comments on, the NBA bit in the chat, the NBA bit with Mike Zakarian, we're doing a marathon show from noon to 8 or like 7:30 p.m., tip-off of the very first game of the NBA season. We have guests from the Bleacher Report, from The Ringer, from Yahoo. We got guests from all over the place who are going to be talking hoops. We're going to be giving away tickets, some cash. We're going to be having a lot of fun. So go check that out. It's going to be a really fun day. It's live the whole time. It's just live. I don't know. I'm in my Scott Hansen era. All right. This is my red zone era. Speaking of red zone, dude, Drake May, man. Whoo! It's made football season so. Usually football bridges a gap for me, especially the last 5 years, right? Because we don't normally have postseason baseball. It just bridges the gap to get me to October so I can watch NBA basketball with a competitive Boston Celtics team. Then now, no. Now the hype is real, baby. It's Drake May season, all right? Oh, baby, that was fun. Going to the playoffs. Anyways, let's get to your comments from the most recent one. Here we go. Speaking of Tatum, that cool dude, 98, says, if Tatum is cleared to play basketball, then he should play regardless of our record. Give the guys something to look forward to. Yeah, it's been interesting. There's just like a lot of different camps on this. Like, what do we do here, What do we do? Like, is it dependent on how healthy he is? Does he have to be completely cleared? If the Celtics aren't in contention? Like, I don't know. I still land on the fact that if we're not really in contention, don't bring him back. Only because I'd rather just get a good draft pick, If we are in contention, then yeah, of course, if he's healthy, bring him back. But I don't know. Same thing. Keith says, even when Tatum is 100%, he's probably going to be on a minutes restrictions for a few games to get into shape. Yeah, that makes sense. GCD 937, he just was upset about the title of the video again. Just relax, GCD, Have some tea. Put some honey in it. AJB says, aren't fast recovery rates a high risk for re-injury? Tatum's job is one of the most physically demanding jobs in the world. I love the progress, but I'm with the cautious crowd. Just because he can come back doesn't mean he should. Many guys had re-injuries or other major injuries due to unaware overcompensation. Would love to be proven wrong, but we're not winning a ring this year. Having him come back doesn't seem worth the risk. I mean, that's what I keep going back to. Like, he's got to be He's got to be hundo P, right? No concern whatsoever. He's got to be good to go. And I think that's how they'll treat it. Like there's no reason to rush him back if he's not ready. So that is my take on it too. Like I don't know. I don't think there's a shot he's coming back unless he's ready to go. John Doe though, which I hope you're alive, says Celtics medical staff isn't exactly the best. They will medically clear anyone to play. Look at Time Lord. Let's not risk a few extra wins for the rest of his career. Yeah, I mean, like, listen, I kind of see what you're saying here. I think blaming the medical staff on Time Lord is probably not fair. It's like blaming the Pelicans medical staff on Zion or like the Sixers medical staff on Embiid, which maybe they should. But I think Time Lord had, a shaky health before getting to Boston. But I mean, that is a good point. Like again, there's no need to rush it. I'm not going to put it on the Celtics training staff though. Just, this was a catastrophic injury. Let's make sure he's ready to go, all right, that's going to do it for us today. Appreciate everybody hanging out with us. Happy Monday. For some of you, a long weekend. I hope you're enjoying it. If you're on the Northeast, I hope maybe have some hot cocoa. It's cold. It's gross outside. All right. And if you're on the West Coast, I don't know, enjoy the beach. I don't know. I got nothing for you West Coast folk, all right? Appreciate everybody hanging in. Go Seas, baby. We'll be back tomorrow.